Hello, welcome back to school. Before I begin this video, I just want to thank all the new subscribers and those of you who have subscribed and those of you that comment and like and do all that fun stuff. I just want to send out a thank you. Okay, this is going to be a Latin homework update for the 23rd, the 25th, and the 27th. Okay, so I've got notes in my little notebook here. I've got private stuff in here, so I can't show you guys everything. I'm sorry. So I'm going to have to bring it up and read it. Okay, so on Wednesday in Latin, we did the... it's a colloquia book. The Colloquia Personae, or Persona, I don't know. Whatever that book is. We did that book. We did the chapter 5 reading, or capitulum quintarum. Quintarum? Quintum? I don't know anymore. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to count. I don't know. Anyways, we did chapter 5, the one with the V. Yes. We did that. We also did, oh gosh. Oh, we did UDT, which is Unus Duo Tres. That one dealt with numbers. No, that was not numbers. Numbers was the week before. This one dealt with body parts, food, and drink, which is interesting. So we learned about like what the head was, the eye, the ear, the mouth, the nose, the arm, the shoulder, which was totally something different than what I thought it was, the elbow, which is totally different than what I thought it was. I think the shoulder is called the humerus or something like that, and the elbow is like the cubula or something, or the cubula. I don't know. I need to look that up. Again, we're not really doing Unus Duo Tres for vocabulary. It's just kind of fun Latin. For me, it's fun Latin. But we're not really hardcore memorizing any of that stuff. But that was fun. So that was kind of what we did. I think I heard somewhere what do they call it? The Familia Romana has a section on body parts too, so we'll see how that compares. The other thing we did was we had some time to kill, so we did Lingua Angelica, which is the it's the songbook Latin that goes with the Memoria Press Latin series books and stuff. We just went through a quick recitation of those, and it was really weird because we haven't done that in literally weeks, maybe even a couple months. But I still had issues with my usual ones, which were the table blessing, which is one that I don't know why I have no, we call them stickies because I like to do lots of recitations and connect things and all that stuff. I have no stickies in my brain for the table blessing. So this one, I have no doubt I'll be working on for a while to try to get it memorized. The other one I had issues with was the sign of the cross, or I think it's called the Signum Cruce or something like that. That one, I always get it mixed up with the Glory It's not the Gloria. It's the Is it the Gloria? I don't know. It's the one that says, in the no, that's the sign of the cross that says in the name. The other one that says, oh gosh, glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now and forever. Amen. That one, I can't think of what it is. Gloria, Gloria in, gosh, I got the Gloria in Excelsis in my head. Oh gosh, glory be, Gloria de, I can't even think of what it is in Latin anymore. But that one, I always miss the, it's in secula seculorum. There's a phrase near the end I just totally skip. I don't know why. I just totally skip it. The Pater Noster is the other one. So yeah, the glory, the table prayer, the glory be to the Father, the and the Pater Noster. Those are the ones that I just have a hard time with memorizing. I did learn recently that Memorial Press, like literally over the summer, has just produced a new Lingua Angelica. It's called Introduction to Lingua Angelica, which I am strongly considering purchasing. It looks like, I wouldn't say it's more simplified. It has all the stuff as the other book, but like the song text and prayers and stuff is the same. But I think their workbook is a little bit more easier for those who have not done full on like Latin translation work, because the book that I'm working through now has like, you have to but you have to parse all the nouns and the verbs, and you have to write out the English. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in this thing. In addition, you have to memorize everything. But there's just a lot of stuff that we haven't covered in the grammar sense. And I think this introduction one, it takes out a lot of that grammar stuff and it focuses primarily on the memorization and just knowing what the words are. It looks like there's, I don't know, I guess I would call it like an interlinear thing. Like, one point they've got Latin on top, and then like they give you lines to write out the English, and then they have the English, like the next page they'll have like the English on the bottom, and then they'll have lines, and then you write out the Latin. So it's kind of like a dual language intermixing thing. And then there's a section that deals with like, they'll give you lines and then they'll have you write it out by memory, of course. Which is right up my alley. But I don't know. I'm still contemplating on that. I'm thinking I might, but I don't know. I need to see how things work out. But that is something I'm thinking about getting. Maybe what I might do, if I do get that, we might just hold off on the current book we're working through, and then just work through this introduction one. and until I have a little bit more grammar, because currently my grammar consists of the present system verbs, the past system verbs. No, it's the present system and the perfect system in the active indicative, and noun declensions 1, 2, and 2m. Those are the only things that I know in the sense of grammar. Now, to be honest, in the Familia Romana book, we've covered a lot more grammar, but not enough for me to wholly grasp what I've been taking in. Like, there's the other verbs which have the different endings. Like, I think the fourth one has an IT at the end of singular third person, and then obviously the first one has AT, and then I think the second one has ET. I don't know if it's long or short. And then third one, I don't think we've really covered that. And we've covered a little bit of like prepositions, but that was like literally just in this past chapter, so I don't really know them. I know cum and in, and then I think ab and ad are two, and I think there's one, maybe two other ones, I'm not sure. And then there's a whole boatload of Q words, quis, qui, quid, quod. Yeah, well, quod doesn't belong in there, but quod is a Q word that I had to learn. And then there's just a whole bunch of like random vocabulary that we don't do recitation with the lingua latina because he wants it to be more fun, if that makes sense. But on top of that, with the amount of vocabulary and grammar that book covers, it just would be like not good. So we're just kind of using that as like a fun book and just a reading book and application book of just reading Latin and trying to translate. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, but I gotta see how things are gonna pan out. I don't know. So Friday last week, again, I need to look at my notes here because I've got private stuff up here. We did oh yeah, we reviewed the pronouns because chapter 5 introduced the pronouns and had a big old table of third person singular pronouns. And I was like, how am I going to memorize all this? And I still don't have any flashcards made up for this because I still don't have my bold writers because I don't have money to buy bold writers. Until I can get that, I can't write out my flashcards. And I still have to finish writing out flashcards for chapter 4 too. But we did pronouns. I wrote out some stuff on the chalkboard, on the whiteboard. I don't know what it is, but I'll insert a picture here. Wait, no, I tried to insert a picture, it doesn't work, but either way, I will try to insert a picture in there somewhere. So we did that. We did what else did we do? We did the pronouns. Now the pronouns we did go through and kind of like do like a drilly type thing to see, like, so I could get a better concept of what person and case each pronoun is, because that's the thing that I had a hard time with. So we kind of looked at that. I'm thinking I'm going to have to write out cards specifically for that and just write on the backside like what the case and number is, so that I know what it is, if that makes sense. But yeah. But pronouns, we looked at pronouns, third person singular. We looked at the cue words, the indicative and the imperative. Oh yeah, we looked at the indicative and the imperative. We did those. We did, what else did we do? Oh, we did a fun thing. We did something so outside the box, but it was fun. We did Luther's Small Catechism. I found it's like a reader, like an intermediate reader book, I guess, and I got like whatever, some vocabulary book or something that it didn't come with it. I did buy it separately, but there's like the Luther's Catechism. I think there's the Augsburg Confession. I think there's another book in this series. I don't know. But I bought that because I thought, hey, this is right up his alley. It's theology. It's in Latin. We can work through it together. I haven't studied the catechism in like forever anyways. No, I'm not Lutheran. But in like religious upbringing, that's what I was brought up in, so I'm more familiar with the Lutheran upbringing. So yeah. So we went through that, which is interesting. We didn't go through the whole thing. We just went through the commandments section, and we covered through the first 5 commandments. Now, if you're of the Roman commandment keeping, that would be thou shalt have no other gods before me, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, thou shalt keep the Sabbath day holy, thou shalt honor thy father and mother, thou shalt not murder, as they say. If you are of the, I guess, the non-Roman thing, like commandment keeping, it would be, thou shalt not have no other gods before me, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in, no. Oh my gosh, I think I screwed it up. I think I so screwed up. Hold on, let me check on this. Okay, so this is one of my more newer copies of the Catechism, and I totally I read it against the Bible, so there's a lot of notes in here. I don't think I marked much in this front section because it's just the commandments. Oh, well, I did mark some stuff, I think. No, I didn't. I thought I marked something in there, but I guess not. Okay, but this is like the Catholic version. That just looks so lopsided. I'm just saying that it looks so lopsided. Okay, so we went through the first commandment, you shall have no other gods. You shall not, you shall not misuse the Lord. No, I can't even read this. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, because that's all I know it as. And then their third commandment is remember the Sabbath day to keep it, or by keeping it holy. Which, yeah. And then honor your father and mother. and then you shall not murder. Those were the commandments we went through, but these were all in Latin, and it's kind of funny because Luther has this thing, like, he's always asking, what does this mean? And in Latin, it's like, what does this sentence mean? It's like super, super long. And then there's like a thing that said responsio or respondo or something like that, which had the explanation, and they all began with this thing of you should fear and delight yourself in God so that, and then it went into what you don't want to do and then what you do want to do for the various commandments. So those were the Catholic versions Catholic Lutheran, of what we went through in Latin. If you adhere to the what I would consider the biblical standard, there is the first commandment, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. And then the second one is, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images. The third one is, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. And the fourth one is, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And then remembering that thou once was a servant in Egypt and all that stuff. That would be coming from Deuteronomy. And then the fourth one is, no, that was the fourth one. The fifth one is, thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother. So that's differences. You could do a lot of research into why the commandments are different, but I'm not going to go through that here. But that's more or less what we covered in Latin on on Friday. That was kind of like our fun day. We didn't really want to start anything new. I knew Magister was going to be going, he was going to be leaving us, and he just says, well, let's just try to keep it on the light side, which is good because, to be honest, the stuff that I have learned is a lot, and it is kind of, it's neat that what I'm learning, and now that I guess we're starting to incorporate religious stuff into this, it's kind of cool too. We do discuss once in a while about religious topics, but obviously since while he was here, we didn't have a lot of time to talk about that a lot, like in depth. We do believe differently on various things, but there's a lot we agree on. So I'm hoping sometime in the future we could have more time to discuss more of that without being time constrained, and you know how all that goes. But in the meantime, Latin going forward will basically be the month of August. We're not meeting, which is good. I was given some organ assignments to work on, so that is what I'm working on. So the other thing is we will probably be meeting sometime in September, probably after whatever holidays at the beginning of September. I don't know, because I don't celebrate holidays. Yeah. So, this is kind of like a free-for-all right now. Well, I wouldn't say a free-for-all. I do have, Latin pages that I'm still working on. Actually, I've got them right here. Let me grab them. Okay, this is not it. So, somewhere around here. I don't know what that is. That's not it either. Oops. Yeah, like, there's a whole bunch of these tables I'm working on. I just flip through here. So, there's a whole bunch of these. At one point, I had to finish, like, a whole bunch of, like, translation work, and I did those. And now I'm at the section where I'm just finishing up the future perfect tense. And basically, this is going into the 27th homework that I did. This is stuff that I was kind of working through on Sunday. Trying to keep myself from getting all weepy, but I still got all weepy. Like, yeah, it was just not good. So this was what I've been working through. So I'm getting those, basically all that old homework caught up on, which is okay. I guess it's one of the good things about not having, like, time restriction. You can just do whatever you want, but I don't know. My innermost being will not let me have any of these blank. And initially I wanted to have these done before he left, but that didn't happen. But I think having them, trying to get them done before we start up again would be a good goal, to get all my late Latin work done and all my current Latin homework done, like for chapter 5. I still have all those homework pages for chapter 5, and I still need to finish up those little bit on chapter 6. No, not chapter 6. Chapter 4 that we worked out on the board. I think I mentioned that in the last video. But there was some stuff that we worked out a little bit on the board. I gotta still finish those up, but I've just got, like, it's just stuff going on. There's always stuff going on, and it's hard for me to focus when I've got other stuff going on. So that's kind of what is going on with Latin. Hopefully, and I don't have too many of these things left. I'm thinking I could probably get a couple more of these nailed down. I don't know. If I, like, try to focus really hard. Now, these ones, I did start these. Where did they go? These ones I actually feel obligated that I have to do because I requested them. I didn't request the amount, but I requested verb homework practice thing. And I think there's 14 or 15 of these. So if I can divvy these up and do one a day, say after I get all these done, I think that would be a good goal. And that way I'm not, like, over stressing myself on these. Maybe if I have enough energy, I could do, like, 2 a day. Because a lot of this stuff would be pulling up old verb stuff that we haven't used in quite a while. So that is kind of what's going on with Latin work. So I'm sorry this wasn't very exciting, but it is what it is. So it looks like on the 23rd I had started some of my homework. I don't know if... Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. I did this, and he went through it and he marked a bunch of them, and there's, like, a whole bunch of them that got wrong. Because, like, I just didn't know what I was doing. So, he marked them, and I circled them because I can't read the red that he wrote in here. So, I'm just gonna erase these and figure out what the real answers are. But yeah. So, a bunch of these are just wrong because I just don't know what I'm doing. And I think there was some other stuff I did. Let me see here. Is it that page? No. Oh, yeah. Here's the other page I started working through, and there's a couple of those that are wrong too. So, that's gonna be some projects. I'm gonna figure out how this stuff all works. And that was, where's that date? Yeah, that was also on the 23rd. Okay, so that was on Wednesday. I tried to do those. I wouldn't say I failed, I just don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah. Okay, I'll talk with you guys later. Bye. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget, ring the notification bell for all notifications.